Hey everybody, this is Spaz, and thanks for tuning into my first AMA. It's called Ask Me Anything. But I'm not going to call it Ask Me Anything. I'm going to call it AMT. Answer Me This, which is a little bit of the Riddler and Shatner thrown in there, I guess. Answer Me This. So this is the first episode. Spaz presents Answer Me This. First question comes from Neil Sidebottom from Australia. He asks, why don't you like Big Star? And it's not that I don't like Big Star. I just don't love Big Star. I think Big Star are a fine band, but I put Big Star in the same category as I put the Replacements or Wilco, things that everybody loves that I just don't connect with. I mean, I did see the Replacements once. I saw them on the Let It Be tour, and they were just loud, obnoxious, drunk, and only played partial cover versions. I must have seen them at the Troubadour or the Palomino. I don't remember which one. And I just walked away unimpressed, and I thought, well, at least I came to L.A., I think I went record shopping or something that night too, so, it wasn't a total bummer of a night. But getting back to Big Star, I mean, I love the song September Girls, but I love Squire's version better. I love the song The Ballad of El Goodo, but I love Trip Shakespeare's version better. And, they're a fine band. They are a fine band. I've just never been able to connect with them. I don't own anything except maybe a best of, and I don't see that changing. I don't think they're up there with Badfinger and the Raspberries as, the great power pop bands of the early 70s. I mean, to me, Partridge Family is more power pop than Big Star. Ooh, that's evil, huh? But no, I mean, I'm just not knocking them. And I'm not going to get into the whole shouting matches about what's power pop and what's not, because that's sort of killing the whole power pop scene, in my opinion. But in regards to Big Star, I've just never connected with them. I guess that's the short answer. I'm sorry for walking you around the block a couple times. Short answer is I just don't connect with them. Next question. Mike Schnee asks me, Speedos or thong? And I say, yes. John Borak, paper or plastic? John? Yes. Rick Warhol asks me, if you could front a power pop band right now, what live musicians would back you up? And 4 maximum, and I have to name their instruments. First thing that popped into my head, Al Chan on bass, Tommy Dunbar on guitar, John Rubin on guitar, and Don Spint on drums. And then I realized, oh my gosh, that's the Rubinoos. I can't front the Rubinoos. I would ruin the Rubinoos, one of the greatest bands that's inspired me and made me wake up in the morning and said, hey, the sun's shining. Oh, that's probably because the Rubinoos are around. But then I started thinking, I don't want to ruin the Rubinoos. And, I don't want to drag my brother into this. He's the one who's written songs with me for years. I don't want to embarrass him. He's got a restraining order out on me anyway. And then I start thinking, wow, who is one of the best musicians I know? Robbie Rist. That guy, bass, guitar, drums, man, when he's on stage, rock, jump, and holler. I'll tell you, it's awesome. He's a great musician, but I wouldn't want to damage his reputation. Same with the my Texas heroes, Lanny Flowers, Danny Wilkerson, Alan Petchy, Victor Irwin. Those are the type of people that I would love to be in a band with, but I can't be in a band because I kind of suck at being in a band. If you've heard anything that I've recorded, I apologize. Last question for today is from John Dunbar. No relation to Tommy, but I will tell you that John Dunbar is in a great band called the John Sally Ride, and they have a new album released this year. He was also in Confederacy of Dunces, and he put out some solo recordings as well. John asks me, what's the origin story behind the name Spaz? Well, it's with one Z. Everybody seems to get it wrong. One Z. Here I am. I'm getting all bent out of shape. Oh, no, it's one Z. No, I was going to a junior college. This is probably a couple years after high school. I didn't go straight into... I went into Golden West. And that was a junior college, and I went there for, I think, a couple semesters. But then I dropped out of it, and I went to another college, I think Fullerton JC, and I started taking a telecommunications DJ class because I wanted to be a DJ. And Another thing I failed at, by the way. But in class, I'd bring in a stack of my 45s. Like, I particularly remember having the Great Buildings 7-inch of Hold On to Something in the picture sleeve. And I remember playing that, getting it queued up and ready to go. And I'd be all like, hey, yeah, that's Great Buildings, Hold On to Something. Before that, you heard Flock of Seagulls with Space Age Love Song. And I'd be doing stuff like that. And a guy that I was in the class with, his name was Bill. And he just looks at me, he goes, "You're such a spaz. I'm going to call you Spaz." And then I thought, well, that's interesting. Spaz, I like that nickname. Of course, he never called me Spaz after that, but I started calling me Spaz after that. I didn't really refer to myself as Spaz. I didn't go like, well, Spaz is this and Spaz is that. No, what I started doing is when I started writing, professionally writing, when I started getting, for All Music Guide or for other writing gigs, it would be Stephen Spaz Schnee, because I wanted a name that people would remember. And believe it or not, most everybody involved in, like, let's say the power pop scene from, the LA power pop scene from the 90s, most of those people only know me as Spaz. If they see my name on Facebook, I mean, I know musicians that if I see them in person, they'll call me Spaz. But on Facebook, since Facebook doesn't allow me to use that nickname, they'll always call me Steven. And I think sometimes it confuses people. But I am Spaz and I am Steven. It just depends. So when people call me Spaz, I know, oh, they're from the music side of my life. If people call me Steve or Steven, then they are from the real world, so to speak. To me, it doesn't even matter. You can call me idiot, just as long as you're talking to me. But anyway, that's it for my Answer Me This. That's probably different than I was doing at the beginning. Answer me this. Anyway, that's it. I hope to do more of these. I know they're ridiculous, and it's arrogance, and it's ego, and it's narcissism, but I love to talk to people, even if they don't talk back. I'm used to that. Trust me. Every day. Talking. The walls don't talk back. My hand puppets don't even talk back. Anyway, that's it. I thank you all for tuning in for this few minutes of nonsense and for sticking around and watching the entire first episode of Spaz Presents Answer Me This. It's probably different again. Anyway, thanks everybody. Bye.